Hello coaches, in this video we are going to cover phone calls to PSAs. All electronically transmitted human voice exchange, including video conferencing and video phones, shall be considered telephone calls. Generally, all telephone calls made to a prospective student athlete or their family members or coaches must be made by the head coach or one or more of the assistant coaches who count towards the numerical limitations. Exceptions are President, Chancellor, FAR, Director of Athletics, SWA, Academic Advisors, Compliance, non-coaching staff member or non-countable coaches when talking about official and unofficial visits or camps or clinics, and after a PSA signs their national letter of intent or written offer of aid agreement, any staff member can make calls. From the COVID Q&A provided from the NCAA until December 31st, 2021, sports other than football, any institutional staff member, including athletic trainers and strength and conditioning coaches, who have passed the recruiting certification exam can initiate or participate on telephone calls with a prospective student athlete. Now, time period for calls. For sports other than basketball, football, and softball, calls cannot be made or received before June 15th at the conclusion of the PSA's sophomore year. For softball, calls cannot be made or received before September 1 of the PSA's junior year. For women's basketball, calls cannot be made before September 1 of the PSA's junior year and during the July eval period. All communication with the PSA is prohibited. Institutional staff members may receive telephone calls placed by a PSA at the PSA's expense at any time. For men's basketball, calls cannot be made before June 15th at the conclusion of the PSA's sophomore year. If PSA is from the Southern Hemisphere, call may not be made before the day after the conclusion of the PSA's sophomore year. Institutional staff members may receive telephone calls placed by a PSA at the PSA's expense at any time. For football, one telephone call to a PSA may be made from April 15 through May 31 of the PSA's junior year in high school. Additionally, telephone calls to a PSA may not be made before September 1, the beginning of the PSA's senior year in high school. Thereafter, such telephone contact is limited to once per week outside a contact period, but may be made at the institution's discretion during a contact period. Institutional staff members may receive telephone calls placed by a PSA at the PSA's expense at any time. And once a PSA has signed, there are unlimited calls. Telephone calls to a PSA may not be made during the conduct of any of the institution's intercollegiate athletic contests in that sport from the time the institution's team reports on call at the competition site at the direction of the coach until the competition has concluded and the team has been dismissed by the coach. And as always, either scan the QR code on the screen right now or click the link in the video description to ensure that you have watched this video. Have a good day.